Hey everyone, and welcome to the Cooldown Room podcast. This episode is coming to you after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix of 2023. Your hosts for today are, as usual, LastLapLucy, and me, the co-host, occasionally, Neil Basu Racing. What did you think about that race, Lucy?
Oh my goodness me, that was a boring race. Honestly, possibly one of the worst F1 races I've ever watched. It was
Yeah,
so terrible.
yeah. The only reason I don't think that is because I kind of didn't watch it. I was
Yeah.
I was racing yesterday, and I had the race on. We went for like a screening event at my local kart track,
Okay.
and we watched like the first lap, first two laps, and we were like, you know what? Red Bull's already in first and second. Let's just go out. Like we don't have to wait 2 hours to get our sessions in when the sun sets and stuff. Just go now,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So that's basically what happened. But yeah, I would have to say if I had to choose a worst one, Pearl Ricard 2019 was probably up there because I literally fell asleep. Like
Was that the
unironically, I took a nap on the couch
was that the
when that
zero
happened.
overtakes one?
Maybe,
I'm
but
sure
Zero
there
Overtakes
was
is also Monaco one of the recent years. But I
mm.
I don't know. Point is, I was asleep during that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a pretty dull race. What I'm gonna say is if you watched the first few laps and then gave up, that's it. You've seen the race.
Yeah,
There was
I mean,
not much else
I
after
would
that.
say watch the race highlights. There's also on F1 TV a thing called Race in 30, which is like extended highlights. There's nothing more there. There's
Oh.
literally nothing more there.
Yeah, so basically we were all falling asleep as well watching it. Like I was with my family watching and chatting online with people at the same time. Um and Dan, our other co-host, Dan actually fell asleep, like legitimately fell asleep. Because it
Reasonable.
started at 6 a.m. for him and he woke up
It's
for
not
it.
worth staying up for
He
this.
watched the first few laps just like you and then just fell
Yep.
asleep. And
It's not worth
honestly,
it.
he had
Just
a
it's not
much
worth
more exciting time than I did while being asleep. Like that's
it.
all
Yeah,
I'm gonna say.
the dream he saw was probably
Yeah.
more interesting than the race.
Yeah,
Not hypothetically.
exactly. I need to ask what dream he had during the race because we
Yeah,
need
he
to.
he probably won't even remember because I mean,
Yeah, I
it
hate when
could
that
have been a
happens.
really boring dream. It still would have been mine.
Yeah, exactly. In fact,
Oh my
this
god.
episode of a cooldown room is about to be more exciting than the race.
Oh yeah,
Like,
easily. This,
there's gonna
but to
be.
be fair, Canon always bangs. Always easy
Yeah,
peasy.
you're so right.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, yeah, it was pretty. We were all falling asleep. And then like at the end, did you see Esteban's moment in the pit lane?
I did, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Although I've heard the streets have been saying there's more details that have come out about that, about who
yeah.
the people were and stuff like that. Like I don't know about any of that.
Okay, yeah, as far as I'm aware, it was just, like, photographers and media personnel who were allowed into the pit lane for the post-race stuff.
Streets say, and by streets I mean Kim Millman, the goat Kai Millman, always
Yeah,
picking up on what the streets are saying.
shout out to
Streets of
Kim
Baku.
Illman.
Shouts out to Kai Millman, the goat. He was saying something like, and he made a whole video, but I didn't watch it. I was meant to, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Um, I just saw he was mentioning it in the comment section of one of his posts, which was that it wasn't actually mostly photographers; it was actually climate protesters or something like that. I don't know. I don't know.
What?
I have no idea. Don't. I mean, that's what the streets are saying. Don't quote me on this. Quote Kai Millman.
We
Y'all
also
can
have
go and see the
to
Kai
we have
Millman
to
video.
remember he's, like, biased as well. Because to me, it looked like photographers and
That's
people, like,
true.
they
That's
did
very
not
true.
look like protesters. He's probably
He
thinking,
is
yeah,
an
us
FIA
photographers
accredited photographer. Of course, he'd
us
want to stick up for
photographers
his
did
voice. Yeah,
nothing
yeah, yeah.
wrong.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah, so that basically woke everyone up because we were all like dozing off watching the race, and then like Esteban nearly did like bowling, which is like
Yeah, that would have been quite concerning. I
yeah,
mean,
so
he would have been able to stop, but like that would have been he would have been raging on the radio.
yeah,
Not that that would have made a gigantic difference to the number of points
yeah,
he scored. It would
it
have
was a
gone from
pretty
a zero to probably around zero, probably something
yeah.
like that.
He'd still be mad though.
But it wouldn't be optimal now, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a pretty scary one to watch live because like the commentators were saying that there were people coming into the pit lane. I think they could see it from where they
Yeah, I
were.
saw the replay of the Sky commentary, and Ted Kravitz was going crazy on the mic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I watched
So
the F1 TV one though, and they didn't really notice so much. Like,
yeah,
oh my
they
god, there's
like
people. Anyway, he's doing his pit stop. Like,
yeah, so we were all
meanwhile,
like
Ted
freaking
Kravitz was
out.
going on about it for like half an hour.
He was like, "This is disgraceful. This is shocking." And
This
to be
is
honest,
insane.
it is pretty bad.
Yeah,
It
I
is
mean,
pretty
yeah,
bad.
it is pretty bad. For
It
sure,
was
it's
just
pretty
like
bad.
we just got freaked out by the
I think
commentary
it's
because
just funny
like,
because I think the F1 TV commentators are in the UK, like watching the
uh,
world feed like we are, and then just
yeah,
commentating over that. Whereas the Sky commentators are at the track, so they
yeah,
have Ted Kravitz literally seeing the people coming before the cameras pick up on them. They're like, "Oh my god, there's people! What the hell is happening?"
Ted about to watch like a mass death thing.
Yeah,
He's
straight up,
about
Ted
to.
is he's gonna switch from F1 TV to Live Leak, and it's gonna be the same content. Like straight up, nothing will be different.
Yeah, so
But yeah, that shouldn't be happening, ideally speaking.
yes, absolutely, and hopefully they look into multiple pit lane things, because I don't think it's particularly safe to have people standing around in the pits while the racetrack is live, because
Mm.
even if there's no 1-2 pit, because everyone was like, "Oh, they should have known Esteban was
Yeah,
pitting."
but you never know. You never
Regardless,
know.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
someone can come into the pits on the last lap with damage. You never know.
yeah,
You never know. Anything can happen. Um, there could be a puncture, there could be like, anything. Or just some sort of engine failure. Especially towards the end of a
yeah.
season, we see a lot of people retiring at the
Yeah, and
closing
I feel like
parts.
they were. It's very silly. I mean, I understand why they do it. I think it's just a bit silly to have the rule where they put up the park firmware barrier before the checkered flag comes out. That's silly.
Yeah.
That's just silly. I mean,
Yeah.
having people there, okay, absolutely should not be done. But it's not like goofy comical levels because they can't just move, and they did this time. They just moved, right?
Yeah.
But you're putting a barrier on the like what?
Yeah.
What?
Like,
That's
what?
crazy. That's insane behavior.
Especially like Esteban's
This
coming
time it was extra
through.
inexcusable because there were two drivers still yet to take the stop, both Nico and Esteban, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I,
But
I
like
think Nico did his the lap
whatever.
before though.
Right.
So and everyone
They
thought
were
Esteban
visible.
had
The barriers
forgot.
are still there. The barriers are there on his onboard. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
mean, not optimal, but
yeah, it was all a bit crazy. I also want to talk in the pit lane about George Russell and Lance Stroll because that was an interesting one.
that was cool. Yeah, I like that one.
So my opinion is cool. It reminded
Yeah,
me of Vettel's
yeah,
moment in, was it China?
yeah. Shanghai, I
Yeah,
think 2015.
yeah. So that's cool. My
Yeah,
concern is that they were just going wheel to wheel down the pit lane for a little
there's
bit too
space though.
long.
There is
Yes,
space.
as long as there's space, then it's
That's
fine.
I'm pretty sure that's how the rule works. Because some tracks like Monaco, there's no space. So
Right,
when Verstappen and Bottas went side by side and it lopped his end plate off, Verstappen I think got a penalty for that.
right.
But the in like say Silverstone or like here, for example, where the pit lane is wide enough to fit one and a half, two cars, whatever, go for it.
My concern though is
Um,
like, what if they crash
mhm,
into each other?
don't. Like
Don't.
if there's enough
Yeah,
space, simply don't do that. Like it's
I
the
just
same thing as driving down in a straight line on the track. Like what if they crash into each other? Have you tried not doing that? Like
but
that
the
that kind of
problem
thing.
is because there's like loads of pit people stood there.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I
have
mean, it's not the
concerns.
thing is when you're going that slowly, it's not going to be a crash so big that like it's going to injure someone else. Because like
True.
at worst, a piece of carbon fiber will fall off, and that's super light. Like just the drag of it flying through the air will slow it down before it hits a person. The concern comes when there's like cars being released with loose wheels. Because when the
Yeah,
wheel comes flying off, being launched by an F1 engine,
yeah,
that's like the wheel is what like it's got to be like 10 15 kilos. That flying at like 50 kph, that's gonna hurt. Like that's gonna
yeah.
cause some severe injuries. Um, but like a
Oof.
little bit of carbon fiber flying here and there, it's fine. They'll be
Okay.
okay.
That one guy in Australia who got hit
That
by
one guy,
some,
yeah, that one
yeah,
guy,
holding it like a
straight up.
trophy.
No, no, that's not even what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's basically as bad as it can get. And the
Yeah,
people in the pit lane, all of the guys, they all have like suits and helmets and whatever
yeah.
for the pit crew. But I'm talking about the example. I think it was like way long ago,
Hmm.
like more than 10 years, I think. Which I think it was Mark Webber. He was released with the loose wheel, and it went and hit a cameraman. And I think he was fine, but like he got launched. Like
Eesh.
that cameraman went flying. It was not. It did not look comfortable.
Wow.
But yeah, that's why the
Gosh.
penalties are so strict on releasing the car in an unsafe manner,
Right.
is what they
Yeah,
call it.
that makes sense. Well, as long as that's safe, then, in your opinion, and I do trust
Yeah,
your
I think
opinion,
it's fine.
because like
I think
I
it's
hadn't
fine.
really seen anything like that before, so I was like, oh gosh, that looks scary.
I
But
recall there was a similar thing, except instead of the entry, it was on the exit between Verstappen and Leclerc in 2019 Silverstone. Same deal. Like
mm,
whoever had the nose ahead by the time that like entry narrowed to one car wide, they just backed out.
yeah. See, I feel like on an exit, it's fine because if you like take each other out or like go into each other and bits fly off, it's gonna not fly at the pit.
I mean, kind of, no, but not really at the same because the speed isn't that high. So
Mm,
the parts won't have enough momentum to go and like hurt a person.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I'm reassured now because that was
Mm.
one of my concerns after the race.
This is pretty chill, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
think generally people agree.
Let's talk about De Vries. Nicholas
Yeah,
Nicassus Henrik Johannes De Vries, or whatever his name is. First of all, De Vries, I love you. I'm wearing my Alpha Tauri shirt
so true,
today.
so true, so true.
Um, what is going
Personally signed
on?
fan art and all.
It was a street circuit. He's meant to be good at those.
Yeah, but I mean that's not. I mean I don't know. The F1 car. I mean it's basically like the F1 car has like an 800 horsepower engine, and then an entire Formula E engine strapped to the back of it, and that's
Mm,
how much power an F1 car has. Like that's the level of like difference in pace we're talking about here. So it's like completely a different ballpark, realistically
right.
speaking.
So he's just not used to the car yet, would you say?
Maybe. I mean I don't know.
Because
It could. I mean he just made a mistake. And there could be
yeah,
a multitude of factors that went into making the mistake, including
yeah,
not being used to it. But like
yeah,
my basic point is that like just because he drove in FE quite well, that doesn't necessarily mean he'd
yeah.
be good at the street circuit in F1, especially because it's not a similar street circuit at all. Like
I
with
need
the incredibly long straights and
yeah.
like that kind of thing. It's not a similar track to anything in FE.
I need people to understand that De Vries is still a rookie. Yes, he has experience
I
in
get where
Formula
they're coming
E.
from though. I
Yeah,
get where they're coming
but
from. He
like,
has been racing single seater race cars since he was like 3 years old.
yes,
Like it's been
but
a
he's
while.
still new to F1 is the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And yes, that's going to give him an advantage over Piastri and Sargent for sure. However,
Yeah.
it's like cut him some
It
slack.
doesn't
It's
mean
his
anything. Like
first
at the end
few
of the day,
races.
everyone is on their own journey, So I mean,
Yeah,
like it's never going to be right to fully slander someone when you're not in their brain. You don't know what all
yeah,
was happening. That kind of thing. He could have seen a cat. You never know.
yeah.
You never know. There were
Oh my
cats on the
god.
loose on that day.
Me when
You'll
I
never
see
ever
a
know.
cat and I just go straight into the
Straight up. I mean, it wasn't even that big of a hit. I mean, it was, but it
He
also
kind of
wasn't.
just
It was
tapped
a
it,
pretty.
right?
Yeah, he kind of tapped it, but he hit it at that
Yeah.
angle where the force was lateral or longitudinal rather than lateral. So Stroll got even a bigger hit, but he hit it later on in the corner.
Yeah.
So it was a lateral force through the steering arm, which is fine. The car could take that. Compared to in the same way that actually Ollie Behrman did in F2 during his qualifying session, he hit it in the same way Stroll
His
did.
steering
But
wheel was
because
like
yeah, because F2 suspension is less expensive than F1
yeah.
suspension, it's not like absolutely run to the absolute ragged edge, thin and light carbon fiber, where if you like breathe on it the wrong way, it'll just snap. It's more like it has a bit more give to it. So he hit the wall and it
Yeah.
just bent. So his steering was like that when he was driving. But
Okay.
with Nick DeVries, he hit it a bit earlier in the corner. So instead of it hitting the side of the wheel, it hit the front of the wheel, and that just ripped it off completely.
Right. See, I
Which
was
is
kind of
unfortunate.
maybe I was being a bit delusional, but I was convinced he was gonna just start going again. Like I was like, come
No, I
on,
I get why,
finish.
because I mean until we saw the onboard, even the commentators, at least on F1 TV, hadn't realized that the front left was broken.
Mm,
It kind of just looked like he was trying to reverse back out of the wall
yeah.
because the car was still like jiggling. But I think that was just him like taking it out of
Yeah.
gear and stuff.
Speaking of, this is really random, but speaking of I guess that kind of area of the track, that one camera operator who stands in the castle, who does that like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's
adorable
cool.
shot through the little window
Yeah,
and then
yeah, I like
over to
that
the
one.
other
I like that
one.
one. That's a cool. And there was a guy just standing in front of the camera for like 20 minutes. Oh my god.
uh,
That's a good
Baku, am
angle.
I
I like that
right?
one a lot. Yeah, for real. Well done, Baku. Not this time,
Well
but
done,
generally
Baku.
speaking.
Sarcastic.
You did really badly this time, Baku, but we're not gonna make you lose your seat. In fact, you already signed the contract, so it's fine.
Exactly. They
It's
really
all good.
signed it right before the race, just so no
Yeah,
one
they
could.
knew they knew this one was not gonna be a banger. We gotta get the contract in quickly, otherwise
Yeah.
otherwise
uh, F2 was honestly more fun than F1 this year, I'd say.
I didn't see
Not
that
that
either.
not that
Actually
that's
I
a
did.
rare
I did
occurrence, but
actually.
like the
I saw
quality
the
of
sprint
racing
race.
was brilliant. Like there was the race I feel was not well, the feature race I feel was not made exciting by crashing. The sprint race was
I didn't
definitely a
even see
crash
this
fest.
feature. Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
sprint race is really incident filled. I did see that
yeah.
one.
So the sprint, I'll summarize for those who haven't seen it, including you. So the sprint race was very much a lot of people going into walls, a lot of carnage, a lot of chaos. Only 11 finishes in the end, which was quite exciting. Right at the end, they had a safety car restart, and
Hmm.
um, I think it was Helga and someone else were in P1 and P2. Um, I think it was Victor Martins. I don't know. But they basically whoever it was in second fumbled the bag. I think they took out whoever was in third with them or something. I forget.
This is the oh yeah, okay. So I did see
I'll
that
get
part.
to it. I'll
So
get to
this is the
it.
sprint race or the feature
Yes,
race?
but sprint,
Yeah,
sprint,
I
sprint.
saw that one. Yeah,
Okay,
cool.
I'm just explaining for our viewers,
Go on,
so
go on.
do
Yeah.
not worry. So yeah, and then this like I think it's Darivala goes like under the car that's gone into
Okay,
the
I
wall and
can
like
tell this part then because I remember this part.
okay, yeah.
That's why I was like offering to jump in.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically, what happened was on the restart, as he said, it was Haga and Martins on the start. Martins was in P2, and he understeered in turn one. Because as George Russell famously said, we've got no grip. We've got no
No
grip there,
grip.
mate.
No grip.
So
No
yeah,
one's
he
got
understeered
grip.
out into the wall. and it kind of the car kind of dug into the wall, which happens. But unfortunately, with the way the pack had bunched up, it basically ended up in a situation where Daruwala, who was in I think P5, but they were all like
Yeah.
in a group. He emerged after the exit of turn one into just a wall of F2
Car.
car. Like there was just nothing there, and you could see he immediately
Yeah.
went like that to try and avoid it, but like in a
Yeah.
gap of like maybe this much, the car's not going to be able to avoid that. So he
Yeah.
literally it like scooped up her
He was
Mustang's
just in
car
the
on
wrong
top.
place. Yeah.
Just got very unlucky, like incredibly unlucky there.
Yeah.
Um,
A
but
lot
yeah,
of
it
people
be like
actually
that
in
at
that
times.
moment mentioned the halo. Would you agree that the halo perhaps
Yeah, I
protected him
guess.
there? Maybe not to the
Yeah,
extent of it saved his life, because I don't think it was that big of an impact, but
yeah.
like,
A that and B. I mean, it's entirely possible that it would have been like a sort of because incidents like this have happened before.
yeah,
It's not like a this is and it's not like harmed the driver because the way the wing is angled or the nose, sorry, when the car gets scooped up, the momentum of it just automatically lifts it past and lands it on top of the roll hoop.
yeah,
But the halo could not have hurt to be there. So
exactly, exactly. So
I mean,
yay,
no need to be dramatic about it, but like, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
good to have it. It's
exactly,
good to have Halo.
yeah.
Love you, Halo.
Love you, Halo. And then after all that carnage at turn one, um, we saw Halga also. I think he just messed up the corner or something. I don't even know what
Yeah,
happened to him. I was too
yeah, he
busy
just messed it up,
watching
I
what
think.
was going on behind. So then we have teammates Vesti and Behrman. So Frederick
Oh my
Vesti and
god,
Ollie
I was so
Behrman.
upset about that part.
They
Oh
are
my
no, no,
god,
no.
I
Let me go.
blanked
Let me
that
go.
out
Let
of
me
my
go. Let
mind.
me go.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I
Okay.
blanked that part out of my mind because of
Are
how
you a
annoyed I
Vesti
was.
enjoyer?
Of course.
Okay, so
I
I'm
know
a
you're
Behrman
biased towards
enjoyer.
Behrman, but I'm not much one for just random 17-year-old British white boy. You know what I mean? Like you
No!
met him, so it's
I
fine. Like
met
you
him,
know that
exactly, that's why I
I
picked
have
him.
no such reason to like him particularly. But
He's a
I have been a
nice
Bestie
guy.
fan since 2019. Yeah, all
He
of them are
likes
nice guys.
dogs.
Bestie he likes shrimps. He said shrimp.
When- Anyway,
Um, but yeah, I mean they're all
we've
nice.
gone so off
So
topic. The cooldown room has become F2 now. We don't care about F1.
yeah, I
F1
mean
is over.
after what happened this weekend, is there much else to say?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh
So
my
Ollie
god,
Behrman,
there is
Frederick
actually, but let's
Vesti,
let's finish with F2
they
first.
are racing like right after this, and we just know there's about to be either a safety car, probably not a red flag because it's basically the end of a
Or a
race
VSC.
anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, something's about to occur basically that's going to stop the racing. So these two are like really going at it, and Behrman like just gets through, and then
He's
the
got
safety
like
car.
the tip of his front wing ahead of Vesti's front wing. Like I was like, no, no, not like this, guys, not like
Ah.
this.
So I saw some
Oh,
people on Twitter saying that it was deliberate by the FIA to let Behrman win, which, in my opinion, I
why? Why?
disagree.
Why
I
would they do
don't
that?
think they're watching the race and going like,
Why would
"Well,
they do that? Why
is
would they
Behrman
care?
hit?" Yeah, exactly. Someone said British bias.
They don't. FIA is French, guys.
It's
Guys,
French.
think for 1 second, guys. Guys, can we get some more critical thinking in the chat, please, guys?
Yeah, so
Oh my
I mean,
god, what,
shout out to
dude?
Twitter once again. They never
Incredible takes
fail
from Twitter
to
as usual. Yeah,
surprise. um,
A1 tier takes.
yeah. So Behrman ended up winning, which was great for me because I love Behrman. My
Yes,
boy
you are a Behrman
Behrman.
enjoyer.
I am a Behrman enjoyer. So
I was upset.
for context for those that don't know, as Neil mentioned, I have met Behrman. I saw him at Autosport International 2023. He'd just come off the main stage and managed to catch him, and we chatted briefly because he did have to rush
Filmed
off
a
to
TikTok.
Silverstone. We did film a TikTok together, which you can check out on my TikTok. I think I
And
also
every
posted it
platform.
on, yeah, I think I posted it on every platform
Yeah,
because it was such a good
yeah.
video. I spent an hour editing it. It was so good. So it was just a this or that video. And since then I've been it was with Luke Browning as well, who's been doing great in F3. He's recently joined the Williams Academy. So it's been a good week for my guys in F2 and F3. So big shout outs to those two for really slaying the game. As for the feature race in F2, not a lot went on. It was just one of those ones where there wasn't a lot of crashing, there wasn't carnage. It was just a very good race, like overall.
Mm.
It had a good storyline. You had Behrman was getting chased down by Porsche. Behrman was absolutely like putting in the fastest laps he could, like absolutely to the edge, like extracting absolutely everything out of that car. Um, Yeah, it was just an enjoyable race, I think. Like there was no moment that I could say, "Oh, and then this happened, and then this happened," but it was just
Hmm.
constant like action. You could feel the race flowing really nicely, and I like when races don't need to rely on like crashes and safety car drama and
Mm.
stuff because it was just fun. It was just fun on its own,
That's good.
and
Yeah,
the
that's a good race.
strategies were fun as well. So
All
yeah.
I know about that race is that Daruvala and Manny did not finish well, so it's like
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't their day. Daravallo got a penalty for an
Oh, what did he
unsafe
do?
rejoin. So turn one, he kind
Man,
of locked up and missed the turn a
did he
bit.
rejoin unsafely?
He rejoined unsafely.
You hate to
Straight.
see
I
that.
can't
You
remember
actually hate to
who.
see that.
He just went basically right in front of someone who had to kind of swerve to get out of the way. He got. I think he got hit with a 10-second time penalty for it, which was
That's
pretty
harsh.
harsh.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it was in my, especially because no harm was actually done. Like the
Yeah,
guy still got past. There was no contact or anything. I just, it was like, oh, okay, that was
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
his
mean,
race
whatever.
was over from then. But yeah, yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
race
I
though.
mean,
I did enjoy F2 this weekend. So yeah, shout out to F2. And if you guys don't watch F2 yet, highly recommend because it is
yeah.
always a good fun. And
F2 goes hard, to be
yeah,
honest,
it does. It does.
most of the time.
So you mentioned earlier about George Russell not having grip. Let's talk about
Yes,
that because that was possibly the most exciting part of the weekend.
easily, not even close.
Max and George, the girls are fighting.
They are
Like,
fighting. The beef is occurring as we speak,
yes.
guys.
So I want to hear
Definitely.
your take on the contact, I guess, that they made.
It's exactly what each of them said.
Yeah,
I mean, he felt like it's fine because he's pushing the limits and it's cold tires and whatever. And Max is also equally valid in saying that doesn't. We all have cold tires. We're all driving on the same track. It doesn't entitle you to just drive into the side of me. He's correct. He is
yeah,
correct in saying that. Absolutely true. That's it. There's
yeah.
nothing else to say. People,
Cool.
I saw a lot of people, especially on Instagram comment sections and stuff, making this a whole like clan war, saying like, "Oh my God, Max doesn't like it when other people race him hard." Like he's not in the same circumstance, guys. Max
Yeah,
knows full well. Even GP was telling him on the radio, George has a lot more to lose than you do here. He knows
yeah,
that. Like it's
yeah,
okay. It's just the difference between here and Melbourne is that there's no like runoff area to like avoid
yeah.
AMG W14 piloted by George Russell, the ghost of Canterbury or wherever he's from, Kingsland, the fighter pilot
Kingsland.
coming in to drop a bomb on Max Verstappen. Like there's nowhere to run, no. So he just had to take the hole in his side button. Like whatever. Like okay, it happened.
Yeah,
Like he shouldn't have done it. Okay, whatever.
yeah,
there's nothing much more to say than that.
yeah. He can't
People
really
are
undo
making it.
it.
Yeah, he can't undo it. I mean, he wasn't like particularly good about it afterwards, but like who would be? Like I
Yeah,
mean,
he's not gonna go.
like
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, Max.
you just got out of the car. Bruce still has his helmet on. He just said, "Watch the onboard." Yeah, yeah, watch the onboard. Bro. Like he, that's the clearest. Like I don't want to talk about it right now. Just please get out. Like I don't want to talk about it because he doesn't want to say like it clearly wasn't my fault because he doesn't know. It probably
Yeah,
was. Like when you're in that situation where it's like even a little bit of doubt, chances are it's your fault. Like I have
yeah.
been in that position before. It's not a good look when you especially if it's in my case and I'm streaming a league race and I'm like I got ruined by that crash and then I open the replay and it just blatantly was my fault. Like that's not nice. That's not a nice feeling. So he's probably just trying to end that interaction as quick as possible. And
Yeah.
Max feels like he's just being ignored, which is fair
Mm.
enough. I would also feel like I was being ignored if I was in his position. It's a completely
Yeah.
understandable thing if you put yourself in their place. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all there
I
is.
feel I feel like I don't know if bad is the word, but I feel like Max was like stewing on that for the whole race. Like the fact that as soon as he got
Uh,
out his car, he went to talk to George. Like
yeah, of
I
course.
just
I
know
mean,
he
he's
was
got a hole in
mad.
his car.
Yeah.
Like
Do
that's fair
you
enough, honestly.
question, do you think that cost Max the sprint win?
No. I mean, maybe I don't know. It's 8 points. It doesn't matter. I mean, like Max
Yeah.
is going to be leading by 80 points at the end of the season. It's fine. Like it's completely all right. There's no shot.
So I predicted Max to win Baku.
Hmm. He could have.
He couldn't. Why do you think he wasn't able to catch Checo? Because generally I
They
just
were
kind
both
of
like close on pace.
yeah.
So it's like the way the race panned out, it fell into Checo's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like that's literally
Yeah.
it. They were both close
Yeah,
enough
fair
on pace
enough.
that it wasn't like that big of a deal.
Yeah, I
If the safety
know.
car came out with that time and the luck favored Perez, he would win, which he did. And if it didn't and it went another way, it would favor Max,
Yeah.
and he would win, which he ended up
So
not this time.
based on what we saw with both Max and Checo being very similar on pace, do you think there is actually chance of Checo like fighting for this championship legitimately? I say legitimately as a
I
like
would find
a
it a little bit
serious
hard to
chance.
believe.
Right.
I would wait until I'm willing to like put any eggs in that basket. You know what I mean? Because it's like he's always been good at Baku, and
He
it's
is a
only in this weekend that he's been able to come close to Max. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
um, so like imagine all of the rest of the circuits,
yeah,
that kind of thing.
true.
So it's like I wouldn't go out there and say like he's going to fight for the
He's
championship
going
till
to
the end,
win
but
the
he'll
championship.
exist, he'll be there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I feel like this is gonna be like a Nico Rosberg in 2015 moment. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
he'll be like kind of there, but like nah. You know, I mean, maybe he'll go on a win streak after Max sails the championship with four
Yeah.
races. Yeah,
Because
that
Max
kind
is
of
just
thing.
gonna be chilling. Max is just gonna be like
Yeah, like he'll be like,
enjoying
yeah,
his
Checo won.
day,
That's
you know?
okay. Yeah, like it's gotten to
Yeah.
that point where Max is just chilling, and that's a good place to be mentally.
Yeah, no, exactly. We kind of love that from Max. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
nice
yeah,
to see. Like you can see he
yeah.
feels way more relaxed and comfortable
It's
than in
good for
previous
him. Like it's
years.
not good
Yeah.
necessarily for entertainment, but it's good for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. And, it's nice that he's finally getting his moment.
Yeah.
So,
You can just
yeah.
chill. You just go out there and be like, yeah, I mean, it'll be fine. I mess up, I'll be P2. I don't,
Mm.
I'll be P1. It's fine.
So let's
It's
talk
fine. You
about
know, like,
talking about driver mentality. Let's go on
mhm.
the opposite end from chill. Let's go over to the people who are like on suicide watch. Charles
As bad
Leclerc.
as it gets. It wasn't as bad for him this weekend,
It
thankfully.
wasn't that bad. It wasn't
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
bad.
If other people need therapy, there are appointments available finally. They're not completely
Yeah.
booked out by
Who needs therapy after this weekend?
Nick DeVries, probably Esteban Ocon, Pierre
I feel
Gasly.
like
Not Ocon as much.
Albon.
Gasly.
Albon didn't really do anything
Albon
wrong.
kind of, I don't know.
He just need
He's been kind of just like meddling this
he did
weekend. I
nothing
was watching
wrong.
a lot of Albon.
My thing was,
He wasn't like that like depressed about what happened.
yeah, but he was P9 in the sprint race. So like
Yeah.
one position away from
Yeah,
points.
but he also knew that like it wasn't due to anything he did. He literally just did not have
Yeah.
the soft tires just died in the last four laps, so he couldn't hold off Lance no matter what he did.
Yeah.
So because of that, he was joking around saying, "Oh, this format sucks." Because like I mean, he genuinely he did not like the format after the checkered flag on his
Yeah.
cooldown lap. He was upset
If
about
he
that.
doesn't like the
But
format,
like
then I don't like the format.
yeah, but it's also like whatever, you know, like obviously you're not
Yeah.
gonna like the format if you
Yeah.
just lost the point by one.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
but at the end of the day, it's like a matter of he did the best his car allowed him to, and that's where it landed him. It
yeah.
is what it is, you
He's
know?
in a pretty good spot in Williams. Like he's probably
Yeah,
one of the more confident
he's kind
drivers.
of in the exact ideal place for him at the moment,
Yeah.
mentally speaking. I think it's
Yay.
kind of perfect the way it's panning
Yeah.
out.
What about Carlos?
I don't know. He's kind of nowhere this weekend because he
Yeah.
was he's not on the pace of Charles at Baku, definitely not.
Yeah.
Right?
He said
But
that
it's
as
also a
well.
matter of yeah, and he knows that as well. And so it's a matter of like I don't know how much he's like upset about it because he knows that this is his like his teammates' good circuit. So it's like
Yeah.
whatever, you know, you weren't like too far off, so it's fine. I'm
Yeah.
sure he wasn't too pleased about getting done by Alonso, but like there's nothing he could have done to prevent that overtake. At max, he'd probably just be a little bit annoyed about like the fact that he couldn't get an
Yeah.
opportunity to take it back. That kind of thing.
So, what do you think about Leclerc's quali? Because he kind of crashed after setting a pole lap.
Yeah.
It's not his first time doing this.
No, it doesn't.
Not that he does it ever deliberately. I do not believe that.
I mean,
Obviously,
maybe he does. You never know. You
I
never know.
doubt
Maybe
it.
maybe sometimes it's deliberate, sometimes it's not. You really can never know in these things. He's never gonna admit it, even if it is like on purpose. This time, definitely not, though, because it literally did not impact anyone's time except for his own teammate, who anyway was like 4 tenths slower under
Yeah.
pace, who anyway was giving Charles a slipstream, so he personally would not have been able to gain that time back either way. Like
Yeah, I
that
mean,
kind of
I
thing.
just feel like because a lot of people say Monaco he crashed deliberately, but then it's like his engine,
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. Like
Anyway,
there are easier ways to DNF in a Monaco quali without like causing you to not start your own race from pole. Like
yeah,
there are easier ways to do it. Like Schumacher was able to do it, Rosberg was able to do it. Like it's possible. Like you don't need to do that.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I doubt that one was on purpose.
yeah. So, do you think that Carlos's quali lap getting impeded potentially cost him a position in quali? I think was it
Maybe
fourth he
I don't know.
came? Because I don't know. Because a lot of people were saying maybe it could have, but
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I'm
we'll
not
never have
convinced
seen
because he's
it.
right behind the Red Bulls, right?
Yeah,
He was in
that's my
P4, so I
logic
mean,
as
yeah, I mean, I
well.
don't really see him getting any higher than that.
Yeah.
And
Who
also, the track conditions were just slower. Like that's why Charles like pushed. Like he was like, "It's do or die lap, might as well." Like, so he dived in with 100% commitment anyway,
Yeah.
and just the grip just wasn't there. So that's why he just went off.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, I don't really see the lap times getting any quicker,
Yeah. No,
especially
I
after
would
Carlos.
agree with that. So Carlos doesn't need to worry. And also he
No.
was apologizing on the radio, it clearly wasn't a deliberate
Yeah.
thing against Carlos or anything, because I know some people will
Yeah.
try and hype it up to be like, oh, he's trying to take out
Yeah,
his
but then again,
teammate.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Like, Twitter will be Twitter, you know. I mean, at this point, I just acknowledge it as for the brain rot that it is. It is not a valid opinion, so it's okay. I don't think about it. That kind of thing. If you are on F1 Twitter listening to this, you can officially consider me an op to you. It's okay. It's all right. I don't mind being an op
Unless
to
you're
Twitter
if
brain
you're
rot.
listening to this and you're automatically not one of the people with the bad takes on Twitter.
That's very true, though. The true brain rotted people would not have listened all
Yeah.
this way.
They would not have stopped to think about facts,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
about
Exactly.
or discussing different opinions and such.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that, yeah. So if
They
you're
just be
listening
like,
to this,
"This has been
you're good.
manipulated, man," and leave it
Yeah,
at that.
yeah.
Like,
They wouldn't even watch a replay. They just run on
no.
vibes.
No, no, no. They run on
Okay,
what Crafty said on like he maybe saw like 5 milliseconds of it because the camera just caught it at the end of it, and from
and if
one
it
angle, and
fits
Crafty
them,
just guessed what happened to make the like audience not be in the dark, and they'd be like, "Yeah, that must be correct."
yeah.
Like they just go with it, not knowing that Crafty also in the moment just saw exactly the same that we did. Like he doesn't
Yeah,
know more than we do in that situation. Like he may later on by like talking to the driver, but at that point he doesn't.
yeah.
That kind of
But
thing.
then it's like they're not gonna go watch the post race stuff.
They have no idea. They don't care. They have the means
Uh,
to. They just don't care. That kind of thing.
yeah. Oh gosh, I did something on Twitter like 2 days ago, and I had
What
people on
was
my
it?
back. I can't even remember. I said something about Charles. It wasn't even bad. I like Charles.
No, that's your error number one. I said something about Shell. It wasn't even bad. That doesn't matter. They're so
So,
depressed, anything is bad to them. There's no negative self-talk to Charles Leclerc. There is only self-talk. It's automatically like
oh
that kind of
no.
thing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I do remember. I forgot if I talked to you about this, but I basically said that Charles is not going to win Monaco. I got
No, you didn't. But
cancelled
yeah,
for
I don't.
that.
How will he?
I got
How will he?
cancelled.
How is he gonna? What?
132 quote tweets. I have to.
Guys, guys, can we get a little bit more critical thinking in the chat? Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but guys, be realistic here. What are we talking about? The Ferrari is like a second and a half slower than the Red Bull, except for at Baku. Guys, what are we doing here, guys? You
Uh,
can't gain half a second from a toe at Monaco, guys. That's not gonna happen.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I hate to say it.
exactly. I mean, if there's going
Like,
to
I'd
be a
love to see
track,
him winning at Monaco. This is just
yeah,
not the year that's gonna happen.
not this year.
If it
Yeah,
was gonna happen, it
exactly.
would have been last year, and unfortunately, it didn't. Because Ferrari, I mean, we saw what happened, guys. We don't need
We
to.
did see what
We need to
happened.
bring up the
Say
traumatic
no more,
memories. Say
Ferrari.
no more.
Say no more.
Oh my god. No, I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to go there. It just hurts. It hurts physically to think about it. It's so stupid.
oh no. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's always good to like support your favorite and stuff and hope for a good
Yeah.
result, but it's important to be realistic as well.
Yeah, and it's not a slight against you. If someone says your favorite driver is not going to win a race, that they're probably not going to win.
Yeah,
Like it's fine. It's okay.
absolutely. And it's like it's an
In
opinion.
fact,
Even if
it's even
I'm
better if you
wrong,
want to have that weird, like assigning a morality value to your opinions type thing that Twitter loves to do. You can just say that as an excuse for him to not do well at Monaco. That's a perfect excuse to not do well at Monaco. Instead you're being like, no, he will, like just huffing the most copium ever.
exactly.
Like it's not gonna happen, bro. I'm not like I'm listen. I'd be the first one to celebrate when it does. This I just don't see it happening.
yeah.
That kind of thing.
I want to give a shout out. This is a wholesome moment. Cool down room wholesome moments. I want to give a shout out to my
Yo,
granddad.
yo, Granda shout out. Let's go.
Granddad shout out. Maybe he's doing his jigsaw right now while listening to this, but he's been watching all my videos and he's a big
Yo, let's
fan, and
go.
it's like, oh, my heart. And he's also been telling his friends about it, which is like, yay.
What?
Shout
That's great.
out to Jerry in London.
Shout
Uh
out to Jerry in London. You're a real
Jerry
one.
in London, who's also watching.
Oh my lord. Hi, Jerry in London.
Hi Jerry. So yeah, back on topic. Formula
Yeah.
One,
Oh
am
my
I
god.
right?
Yeah, but there's
Um
not much topic to talk about. We can chill. It's okay. People who have listened to a 2023 Azerbaijan Grand Prix podcast all the way until now, they're here for us. Surely. Surely
Surely.
there's not much to talk about.
Surely. Okay, so let's talk about us.
Oh my
Ta-da.
god, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
firstly, you may have noticed this peg has been
I
with
did
me
not
today.
actually.
I've been like,
What is
whenever
that
I
about?
put my hands up, I just spotted it here on the shelf
Is
and
it
I
your
picked
fidget
it.
toy for the day?
It is my fidget
For
toy
me,
for
my
the day.
fidget toy for the day has been this comically. I mean, it's not that large. It's larger than my other one, the large
Mm,
screwdriver and the stock Oculus Quest 2 or Meta Quest 2, whatever it's called now. Stock facial interface with the glasses spacer. I have been
lovely.
messing with that.
Yeah, so I've been doing like, woo, you should get yourselves a peg, guys. This is so satisfying. And I've also worked out my
They go
headphone
hard.
cable. I can put it on it and it like
Yo,
goes down.
mine
It's like
came
a
with one.
slide.
Mine came with one to like clip it to my shirt, but it broke.
Oh.
I think I sat on it when I came when I brought
Oh
it home, and it
no.
just broke up.
Oh no.
You hate to see it. In other
Okay.
news, personally speaking, I am now an Abruzzi affiliate, which is not a sponsorship. So they're not like giving me money to advertise them, but it's like they're giving me 1.5% on all the sales they make using my link, which is great. But that doesn't matter. Point is that they like reviewed my whole profiles and they're like, yeah, this is someone we want to associate with, which I think is
Yay!
honestly a huge
Just
win.
huge
I
news.
really appreciate that. Thank you,
Huge.
Abruzzi. Love you, Abruzzi. Love you so much, Abruzzi. And yeah, if you want to get a suit like mine or like any other suit, like you can get a custom made to however you want they print it on.
Yeah.
Or gloves, shoes with the same concept, or even sim racing gear on the mid-range market, which is a bit out of my market for the moment. Otherwise, I would show an example. But if you're interested in that, use my referral link to
Do
get
it.
it from
Do
Abruzzi.
it
Not just
right
a normal
now.
link. Use my referral link, guys.
To all
Very
the racing
important.
drivers out
Very
there.
very important to all of the drivers who need a karting suit or a FIA suit. I think they make it with
Or,
a Marina Racewear.
or
But it's obviously more expensive. You can do it through Abruzzi using my link.
or
Remember, that's the important part. My link, guys. It's in my bio.
to all the people just like me who are not racing drivers, but if you just fancy wearing a race suit for the fashion,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. You can
and
even
you
get
want,
non-homologated, like non-fireproof and all that racewear as well for cheaper.
yeah,
Obviously I needed it for like actual like protection purposes, so I I got the one that has the homologation. But like you can
yeah,
get a cheaper one if you want. Like
yeah,
that is available.
me on my way
And
to
it's
buy
very
a
They
race
sell a
suit.
lot of stuff of like gaming gloves and stuff like that, like sim racing gloves, which have styling like racing gloves, but they don't. They're like a lot thinner and they're like more breathable and all that kind of thing because you don't need protection when
Yeah,
you're playing a computer game basically. But
yeah,
it's nice. They have some nice stuff.
yeah. Nice. Woo,
Love you,
congratulations.
Britzy.
So
Thank you.
that's a big win for you
That's a
in
huge,
life right now.
yeah, yeah,
Big win
absolutely.
for me in life, not F1 or motorsport related. I'm going to Eurovision next week,
Let's
which is like,
go.
I'm
That's a
so
big one,
excited.
huge one,
So
gigantic one.
if you're
So
listening to
what do
this,
which ones are you going there to attend?
so I'm well, first I'll just say if you're listening to this and you don't like Eurovision, you are wrong. A lot of people say they don't like it, but it's like there's not really anything to dislike. There is a type of
Yeah,
music for everybody. It's a big
yeah,
fun event every year that brings countries together. It brings people together from all over Europe and all over the world. Um, Mostly Europe
yeah.
though.
It's pretty fire. I mean, it's just fire.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's good
there's
fun.
there's nothing really there to dislike. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's people who are gonna inject a morality. It's just the same thing. The Twitter leftists.
Yeah.
It's something that they love doing, which is assigning a morality to your consumption. Um, but as famous philosophers have said, there is no ethical consumption under a capitalist economy. So it doesn't matter that Israel is a competitor in Eurovision. It does not make you a Zionist. Hint, hint. Twitter. Hint, hint. Like it is okay. Like they are just
Yeah.
going there to sing their songs. You do not
Yeah.
need to read into it further than
Yeah.
that.
It's really yeah.
And the
It's
songs are cool,
the
guys.
songs are cool.
Not that
Like
I've listened to every single one of them for this year, which I need to do still, but
you
they're
need to do
cool.
that.
I
Have
will
you
do that.
got
I will
favorites
do that.
so far that you've been
Yes,
listening?
Echo, I think. Queen of the Kings
Ah,
is good. Deshite is good. I think Echo is my favorite one, or just purely because of the fact that the actual reason I haven't listened to them yet, and the reason I don't think I'm going to
yeah.
watch it live, aside from the time zone difference, is for me to enjoy music the way my brain is wired. I need to develop that familiarity with it and that on repeat listening. So I listened to Echo twice by mistake because I listened to the Eurovision thing on shuffle and then I started shuffle twice, so it appeared twice. So as a result of that, it appeared in my on repeat playlist. So because of how my brain works, obviously my favorite songs are the ones I listen to on loop. So this just got added to that. So I just listen to Echo on loop as well, along with the rest of them. So
Nice.
yeah, Echoes. I don't even know which country it is. I don't know off the top
Georgia.
of my head. Love you, Georgia, so much. Not the American one.
Yeah.
They are the
Not
fakers. The
the
true
American.
Georgia. The true Georgia
The
is next to
original
Azerbaijan Grand
Georgia.
Prix, guys.
OG stands for original
Yeah,
Georgia.
origin exactly. The post-Soviet definitely best friends with Armenia and Azerbaijan, Georgia. We love you so much, guys. Well done, Tbilisi.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pick. So you asked which show I'm going to.
Yes,
First I want to say it was really hard for people to get tickets in general. The first wave of tickets dropped and it was an absolute disaster. Like it was a horror show.
Silverstone 2024 or whatever.
Basically they opened up the it was Ticketmaster. Do I need to say any more?
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
Ticketmaster. So yeah, I was actually away. I can't actually say what I was doing because it's secret right now, but you guys
Oh
will
my
find
god.
out soon what I was doing
Do
on
I
that
know?
day.
Probably not.
You no, you don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's a secret, but I was busy, so I had to entrust my mum to
handle it.
handle it. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
love my mum. She is not as tech savvy as I am, but she did her very best. Like I trained her on what to do. She had her multiple devices ready to go on Ticketmaster, and she's
The
like,
reload button like already ready to go, like finger
yeah,
twitching on the
she's like
F5. Like
ready. She even came home from work and like took a break from work. Like she
gotta be
she
done.
she asked for like an extended lunch break to do it. Yeah, so as soon as she joins the queue, like exactly on 12 o'clock, like on the dot, and it like refreshes and kicks everyone out. Which is like, so she did nothing wrong,
Oh,
and
you
then
don't love to see
everyone that joined
that.
like a minute after it
Oh,
went
this
live,
has been manipulated,
they got
man.
to the front. So it was a big disaster. A lot of Eurovision fans lost out because of that.
Mm,
And my mum was like, "Oh no!" Like she felt really bad because she wanted to go, I wanted to go. She knew I really wanted to go, and she was,
mm.
bless her, she felt like she'd let me down. And it was like, "No, you haven't." Um, and so we'd already booked to go to Liverpool just to be there because it's being held in Liverpool this
Yeah,
year. First time in 25 years it's been held in the UK, and it's like it's so exciting. So we have our hotel, and we're just gonna hang out and enjoy the vibe, really. And then like last week, like literally 8 days ago now, they dropped a second wave of tickets. Quite short
yo,
notice.
they just invented new seats.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
I think a lot of it was they reserved like a lot of seats for because they had this thing where like Ukrainian refugees living with host families were
Oh,
going to get
yeah,
prioritized. I guess all
right.
of those that
I
didn't
guess
get
there
used
weren't enough
up.
of them.
Yeah, I mean,
They all were busy running to Poland. They didn't feel like coming all the way to the UK. Oh, well done,
um,
Tbilisi. It all works. It all adds up. That's your
yeah.
favorite.
So yeah, so they released more tickets, and this time I was available. So I was like, well, hello.
Big win for the
And
LastLapLucy
shout
community.
out to my friend Lewis as well.
Love you, Lewis Eurovision. Let's
Lewis
go.
Eurovision.
Get in there, Lewis.
Yeah, not Hamilton, unfortunately.
Brilliant ticket, mate.
So me, him, and my mum, like we all organized the night before what we were gonna do, and the three of us were basically gonna work together and try and go together. Um, because he'd already got a ticket in the first wave, so he was trying to help me. But then I said, like, if you get to the front and get a ticket for me and my mum and yourself, if we get to the front, we'll get one for you as well. So we talked through
That makes
every
sense. Yeah,
scenario. Like,
that's good
say
way
the
of doing that.
ticket, say there's seats for all of us, but they're like really far back or something, and like we came up with all these different scenarios, and like what
All
if
of
we're
this
not
contingency
responding to
plans.
confirm it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like because then if it's like say someone loses internet or something and can't
Yeah.
respond to whether to go for it or not,
It's
and
well planned out.
we
This is
came
what
up for
happens when you have
every
neurodivergent people in
contingency.
charge, guys.
Yeah, except
You get things done.
except
Except for when they're the only one in charge, in which case you get nothing done. But
you get nothing
that's
done.
aside from the point.
So,
They will think about getting things done. That's the important
yeah.
point.
So then, the one plan we didn't plan for is what happened, and we freaked out
As
when
I
this
mean,
happened.
that's the law, no? That's the Moore's law or whatever.
Yeah. So it's the one thing
The
we
one
weren't
thing you want
prepared
to not
for,
happen will
which
happen.
was I mean, it was a very good thing to happen, but we hadn't come up with a plan, so we all panicked. We both got to the front of the queue at the same
Oh,
time. So
okay.
Lewis has got tickets, we've got tickets.
Scalping time,
And it's like,
guys.
because
Ticketmaster
we're not
2.0.
going to buy both sets of tickets, right? Because you have 5 minutes or like 3 minutes or something to
Yeah.
buy the tickets, like to put all your details in and buy them and confirm that that's what you want. So there's like a clock and you can see it ticking down. And we're freaking out because like Lewis has got tickets, but we can't see what's going on with him. So I smashed the call button on Discord and I'm like,
Yeah.
Lewis, what's going on? So he's got 3 seats for £60 and we've got 3 seats, £60 each. And
Yeah.
he's got 3, and we've got 3 seats for £80 each.
Well, then
So
it's easy.
his are
Yeah.
cheaper, yeah, but then it's like, where are we sat? So we didn't know
Doesn't
that because
matter.
yeah. So exactly, it didn't matter. I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. We're gonna go for the cheaper one
Yeah.
because we just want to be there, right?
That's like one total seat on Lewis's prices that you'd be saving.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing. So
So
it's like, yeah, of course.
yeah. So we were like, yes, 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 go, go, go. So Lewis is trying to put his details in to buy the tickets, and something's going wrong on his end. Like it wouldn't accept his details. It was like something has gone
Oh
wrong,
no.
something has gone wrong, and we're freaking out. The clock's going down. So my mum starts entering her details into my device, which had the £80 tickets on, and it's like I don't
Hmm.
want to end up with two sets because you can't resell the stuff. Um, like you can put it back on Ticketmaster, but it's not like yeah,
Who
it's
gonna stop
long
you?
story. Anyway,
Oh, I
um,
got Ticketmaster. Yeah,
yeah,
Ticketmaster moment.
yeah. So we're like freaking out, and then third try for Lewis, it goes through. The money is deducted from his account. We have the tickets. We rejoice. We're relieved, and so I'm going to the semi-final two rehearsal show on the
Yo,
Thursday
let's
afternoon,
go.
which is great because Georgia's in that one, so I'm gonna get to see
Let's
that live.
go.
And Deja
Lovely.
Day. Woo!
Lovely.
So,
Oh, lovely,
and to the
guys.
people listening that like Eurovision right now, Deja Tate, I know what you're thinking. I know you probably don't like it at everyone, because most people have it ranked bottom. I like it. Okay, respect Deja
No,
Tate.
honestly, that's an insult to us that people with that poor taste are still listening. What does that say about our
Yeah,
podcast? That people with
honestly,
taste which is that bad still like our podcast enough to
negative
listen this.
taste. Negative
Honestly, guys,
taste.
honestly, this has been manipulated, man.
So yeah, I'm also really excited for Austria, which I'm gonna see, which is Who the Hell is Edgar? Have you heard that one?
I think I did, like in the beginning, like when you sent them to me, but I
Edgar
forgot.
Allan
I've forgotten
Poe.
it. Yeah, and I've just
Like
forgotten how it goes. Like the tune and all that.
Edgar Allan, Edgar Allan.
Sure, I mean, I'll
It's
take
gonna
your
be
word for
so
it.
good. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna do the dance.
Lovely.
I learned the dance and everything. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's not much else to say really. I
Yeah.
might,
Yeah, I mean, I can announce it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna be doing a sim race. I'm live streaming it on YouTube actually. Click the at in the description, guys. By the way,
mm.
we've been forgetting to at me in all of the descriptions. But
Oh
anyway, that's
no!
yeah,
I'll
that's
do it.
besides the
I'll
point.
do it. That's
Yeah,
my
it's
job. I
all
need
good.
to
We can
fix
fix
that.
that. We can fix
Yeah,
that in that'll take like literally 2 minutes to
I
fix.
will
But anyway,
fix
click
that.
the at in the description on the 14th of May. I think I'm hopefully going to be able to do a sim race, with my friend and teammate. Well, we're not going to be sharing the car. It's a single seater super formula race,
Yeah,
at the Singapore Grand Prix circuit, Marina Bay, and my teammate. In purely the sense of we're collaborating to practice, and also we'll have this a similar livery, is Leon Jenkins, who I think is a Racing Pride community member or community champion. I don't know.
I know them. I know them.
They're in the community. That's the important part. Racing Pride, love you, Racing Pride
I
community.
know them. Is it the
Yes,
person I'm thinking of?
probably.
Their username is like
Yeah,
SN1K.
Snicky.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With them.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
They're
It
really
will be
cool.
dope. I will be streaming it on YouTube because I'm abandoning Twitch because
Remind
I
me
hate
when
Twitch.
that is
Twitch was
again.
worst platform ever.
What
That will be
time?
the
What
14th of May. In the
14th
like
of
4 o'clock
May.
your time, like 5 p.m. your
4 o'clock.
time, something like that.
Okay. I'll try and
Something like
watch.
that.
You're gonna
Yeah, if you
spam
can, that'd
me
be
on
cool. If not,
WhatsApp.
it's
You're
okay.
gonna be like, Lucy, I wanna
I don't know
watch
if I'll
it.
remember.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry.
Because especially because I'm gonna be streaming in VR. So like getting my
Mm.
phone out and typing all that, that'll be like, oh my god. Oh my god, guys.
That's funny. You on
Yeah.
VR trying to type.
Yeah, it's not. It's
uh,
kind of annoying to do.
maybe like before your stream starts, you could just send a quick
Yeah,
message
I'll
or
do that. I'll do
something.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and watch. I'll support. I'll share it on my Twitter if you want.
Yo,
Um,
let's go.
I'll do the
Yeah, I mean, it
plug.
probably no one likes on Twitter when they're like, "Oh, watch my stream." They're like, "I don't care." Like, I'm just
Yeah,
trolling, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you want to, you can. Sure.
yeah. I guess that's all we have to say today, really. Unless you've got
One
anything
idea
else.
which I would like to pitch to
Yeah.
the people, the Easter egg listeners who listen all the
Yeah.
way till the end, and to you primarily, is one thing we could try. And I don't know
Yeah.
how well it'll go, but we can try. And we can start by doing this on a Friday, which
Mm.
is doing our own commentary for people who want to tune into our commentary instead of other people's commentary.
What?
Of an F1 session. So basically, what I'm
Ooh.
saying is, my plan is this is when we're in person together because latency is
Wait, that's
incredibly
so
important with that kind
cool.
of
Do
thing.
you mean
So
like an
on,
FP1 or
on F1
something?
TV, you have the option to just get the engine sound, like the sound effects without any commentation on top
Uh-huh.
of it. So what we can do is what we could either do is like one of those collab live streams, or me doing it on Instagram, you doing it on TikTok. We
Yeah.
could figure something out like that, where they would tune into their own broadcast of the race, mute it, and they'll hear both the car sounds and our commentary while the session is happening. And I'm
That's
saying Friday
really
because the
cool.
pressure is way lower. The pressure is
Yeah.
way lower to get that right.
Yeah.
So I
We
think
are
that could
not
be a
doing a
really good
race or
idea. I think that could
quali.
be very cool.
That
I
is
think that
pretty
could be very
cool. I
cool.
really like that
Quali I actually
idea.
tried doing with T.
Yeah.
We didn't record it. The audio device was wrong, so it's just like a bunch of
Oh
silence. But it was
no!
it kind of worked out because he is definitely a statistician, Andy,
Ooh.
and like he loves like just obsessively reading the live timings, which I kind of don't like doing.
He's gonna be our
Um,
stats guy.
yeah, he can be a sensei. He can be the Ted Kravitz of the
Mm. And
cinematic
we go
universe.
over to T in the pit lane.
Yeah, exactly. What do you have to say? What do you have to say on the live timing screen? Yeah, and that was actually a purple sector there from Alex Albon in turn 6. Oh no, never mind, he's crashed. That kind of thing. That would have been
So
how simulation of the Australian Grand Prix.
I have just
That's how it would have been.
realized we forgot to
Mhm.
do awards for this race.
Oh yeah, what are we even gonna say, man?
Okay, so
What
best
are the awards
battle,
again?
best battle. I think no driver of the day.
Oh, that was
Driver
a
of the
good
day's
one. That was
first.
actually a good one.
Driver
Oh,
of the
driver
day
of the day.
first. Yeah,
Checo. I mean, I don't know.
Checo.
I guess
Checo for
Checo.
you. I'm gonna say either Alonso or Hamilton.
Yeah, they both are pretty good as
Possibly
well.
Hamilton,
Stroll
to be
was pretty
honest.
good as well.
Yeah,
Um, who
yeah. I'm
else
gonna
was
say
pretty good? I
Hamilton. Who are
mean,
you saying?
Albon did well. I mean, there's nothing he could do in that position.
Yeah.
Piastri did pretty well. Norris did pretty well. Ocon
To
did
be
like I
fair,
don't even know
I
how
think
who invited
Albon
my
did
man.
kind of screw his own race over when he went into
What did he do?
Piastri at the start. He
Oh yes, there
he
was contact between
inflated
Piastri.
himself. That was
Yeah,
his fault,
right.
right?
I believe so. I've completely forgot
Yeah,
that happened.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, that true.
yeah. So okay, driver. Wait, who is yours?
I can't decide. I mean, like it could be Checo, Leclerc, Alonso, Hamilton, Ocon, Gasly, Piastri, Norris, Albon. Like
Yeah.
it could be any of those guys. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll just say Leclerc. I feel like he's not going to get enough this year.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good pick because he couldn't have done much better.
Mhm.
And it's like driver of a weekend, I guess. And Charles
Yeah, I
definitely.
mean, Charles definitely. There's literally nothing more he could have done this
Yeah.
entire weekend. I mean, not breaking the front
Okay.
wing in
Yeah, I was
SQ3.
about to say.
Who cares? Who cares, man? They have enough money to they have enough money to fix that,
Yeah.
and they don't have enough money to develop the car enough to beat Red Bull. So either way, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
um, Flop of the week.
Logan Sargent, Nick DeVries.
Yeah, I probably would lean towards Nick De Vries,
Yeah, probably
unfortunately,
Nick
because he
DeVries.
crashed in
Yeah,
quali and in the race.
he crashed like everywhere. Flop of the week. This is just the driver, right? So we'll also have a flop of the week team, or do we have to?
It
Can
can
we
be
choose a
driver
team on
or
this one?
team.
Alpine and Alfa Romeo were both really bad this weekend. Like they
Alpine.
were bad.
Ooh.
Like Alpine, first of all, it started off in the worst possible way. So
Mm,
they were like constantly trying to catch up to themselves. So
yeah.
it was never gonna work. Alfa Romeo was just bad. They were just bad. Like the car just didn't work. Like it was just bad overall in every facet of how a car can be bad. It was bad.
Who are you saying
Like
overall?
uh, Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. Okay. Yeah, I'm
They
gonna
were
stick
really
with De
bad.
Vries.
They were horrifically bad. Like
Okay. Best battle.
that's tough. There were some good ones, I think. Norris, Hulkenberg, Magnussen. I don't know. That was okay. Um,
I'm gonna say it's not a lot.
that's not much happened. Not much happened in the race.
Yeah.
Uh,
It can be
Stroll,
something
Russell,
more. It can be something more obscure as well. Like it could be Max Verstappen versus the safety car.
safety car versus stray cat. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Truly,
I don't.
Esteban Ocon versus vehicular manslaughter charges. Anyway, guys, let's not get into all that.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, there was yeah, Stroll Russell was pretty cool, I guess,
Yeah.
because it was on track and
Yeah.
off
You
track
know what? I'm
and
actually gonna
in the pit
say.
lane and in the pit wall, everything.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say George versus Max in Park Ferme.
Oh yeah,
That
true.
was
Yeah, true.
that was a battle.
It was a
Yeah.
three-way battle actually. George, Max, and the media.
I
Everyone was
mean,
involved in that one. Like they were like, okay, yeah, that was kind of rude, whatever. And then they'd go to the media pen and they'd tell Max, like, basically George said your mom's a hoe. What do you feel about that, Max? Like that kind of thing. And then they go to George and say, like, basically Max said he'll never respect you again. What do you think about that? What do you have to say? like,
Yeah.
like just stirring the pot,
So what are
just
you
because there was
picking
literally
overall?
nothing else to talk about. The Russell Stroll, I would have to say.
Nice. I'm just
It
taking
was kind of good
notes.
one. Russell Stroll or Norris Hulkenberg Magnussen. because Norris pressured Hulkenberg into a mistake, and then Norris did the switchback on the exit of the chicane where you
What
never see side by side because it's like 1.1 cars wide. Like that was pretty cool, but also it's like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's
what's your
like it
final
was so
answer?
inconsequent. They were fighting for 1 point. Like I don't really care that much, you know what I mean? Like they probably also don't care that much. Um, yeah, Russell Stroll. I'll say Russell Stroll because
Okay.
Stroll won that. Like I feel like it was an underrated
Yeah.
drive from Stroll. No, it wasn't actually. It was a rated drive from Stroll. People were actually acknowledging how good it was.
Best
It
move.
was a good drive from Stroll. Yeah. Oh, best move overall?
Yeah. Could be a
I
strategy
guess Russell
move.
Stroll. Russell Stroll, yeah. Russell
Okay.
overtaking Stroll in the pit lane. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Alonso overtaking Sainz.
I don't know if I would like say that's like an amazing move. Like that's kind of like anyone in that position would do that. And
It's
Carlos
the
had no.
only one I remember from the race. So
It was he would in every world he would have done that. That exact same thing happened in 2020 as well, in the three-way battle between Norris, Leclerc, and Gasly. For the podium as well. Like there was a gap, and so okay. I mean, I'm not gonna like because if you don't dive down that gap, the car behind you is gonna dive down the gap. You are leaving inadvertently because he is gonna have to check up to stop rear-ending his own teammate, right? So it
yeah.
was all like that.
And
But yeah,
finally,
there's literally nothing else that happened.
hidden gem.
Hidden gem, the
I've
cat.
got mine. The cat.
What is yours? Yeah, what's yours? Oh,
Mine's
maybe the Lewis trying to get the cameraman to take the tear off so it doesn't accidentally get sucked up into his car.
okay. Wait, what's your final answer?
Um,
Both good picks there.
the cat because it really stirred the pot because of Charles' accent. Ah, there was a cut. A cut of what? What cut? Shell? Shell, what cut? And because that wasn't what he was saying, the engineer asked for no follow-up, so they got no information on this until the post-race press conference. They had no
um,
idea what was going on.
I'm gonna say it's not that much of a hidden gem. Like it was a,
It's just a gem.
it's a
Sometimes you
gem,
can just
yeah.
have gems.
And I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna be more memorable, I guess. But again, it's gonna be one of those ones where we can look back and go, "Oh, I forgot about that." It's gonna be
Hmm.
Taylor Swift and Fernando Alonso.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was okay. I
All
didn't
the
really get
Taylor
any of
Swift
that because that
references.
was a David Croft thing, and I was watching Alex
Uh,
Jakes, the goat Alex
basically,
Jakes.
some people are like, I think it was like Spanish Tumblr started making up the
Oh yeah, we're having to
Alonso and
explain the rumors
yeah.
for the archive
So
listeners from
Alonso and Taylor
2036. Hello
Swift.
to those listening in 2036.
Alonso and Taylor Swift are both recently single. So someone on like Spanish Tumblr made up that they're like dating,
Street said that they're dating
and then
because they
it like
went to the
it just
same
kind
party
of
twice in a row.
snowballed.
Wait till you find out who all was on the list of Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs. Wait till you all find out about that one. That's deep. That's deep cut of the F1 iceberg. Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah, the street said this is the classic F1 Twitter rumor. I'm just gonna make up something because I mean it's fun, right? It's fun to make stuff up. But like
yeah,
people really went with this one. People really it got to the point where they were asking him in the media pen. They weren't care like, oh,
yeah.
how's the car? How's this that?
It
Does it
it blew
feel
up. Yeah,
in your dating field? And he obviously Fernando Alonso's full-time job. He's a part-time racing driver, whatever, full-time old guy, whatever, part-time rookie while being an old guy,
yeah.
whatever, man. Full-time job is stirring the pot. He's a drama farmer by profession. That is what he does.
Drama
All
bomb.
best. He's so good at it. He will never stop doing it. He lives off that. He doesn't eat food. He eats drama. He eats like tea. He drinks tea. That's all. That's all he does. There's no need for anything else. That's his sustenance.
I love that. So yeah, to
He,
those listening in the future, yes.
let's before we get into anything else, Fernando. Let's just address the rumors. It's your love life. We don't want to leave a blank space in the minds of the viewers. All that, whatever. You guys get it. And he just like didn't deny. He's like, I can't confirm or deny anything.
Yeah,
Like because like it's probably a no,
yeah.
probably, but like
It's
he doesn't want to outright say it because it's funny,
yeah, he
which
loves
is
the
fair enough.
drama and
Yeah, he loves
yeah.
it so much.
He posted a TikTok or like Aston Martin's social team made him do a TikTok. I don't know
Mm,
whose idea it was, but probably Aston Martin socials. They're a
yeah,
clever bunch. Anyway,
I
they
don't
had
think
a
he sits down
video.
thinking about TikTok
Yeah.
ideas.
So they did
That's
a
kind of
video
their
of
job.
him listening to like well, Karma from by Taylor Swift being the song in the
That's
background,
it.
like the song they used.
Iconic, so
And
iconic.
they had
Yeah,
Alonso kind of sat like with his arms crossed or something on the chair, just
yeah,
stood sat and that was playing and then he like winks at the camera. He's like
yeah. He loves it. He just loves it too
he
much.
loves it. He's living. We can see that he's living for it as well.
Yeah, of course.
He's so funny.
I wonder what Taylor Swift thinks. No,
I
like
wonder if
she
she
hasn't
knows.
said
She
anything.
probably knows.
She knows for sure. No doubt she knows. It's gotten way too mainstream for her to not know. But like, does she care? That's the real question.
Yeah. She probably doesn't care that much.
Probably
She's
not.
probably
No.
busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, Uh, should we wrap this up
Yeah,
now?
on that note, we also don't care about continuing this because we have, in fact, run out of things to talk about and run out of time. But what we haven't run out of about is our gratitude to you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. If you're on Spotify, leave a 5-star rating and answer the question underneath the podcast. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell button, whether that's on both platforms, actually, never mind. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I have been Neil Racing and your permanent host, LastLapLucy, as well. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.
Bye.